Hey, how are we doing, guys? Great here, and today we've got our week 1 battle of the PAC. We're going up against Wolf and his Trostu Garados. It's the first time we're actually facing off against him, so I'm excited to face someone new. As you can see, this is a post-com. Again, I played this game much like the previous two that you've seen. Whilst I was ill and unable to really, I say commentate, I think I probably could have commentated, but it would have taken all my energy probably to do that, and instead I just want to focus on the battle. So, yeah, this is going to be another post-com. Make sure to check out Wolf's channel. His link will be down in the description below, as well as all the other coaches for the PAC this season. And don't forget to like and subscribe if you're enjoying the content. The support is greatly appreciated. Yeah, I've just gone ahead and put this... Oh, no, that's not what you want to see. You don't want to see my taskbar. Where is... There it is. Okay, so, yeah, enjoy that taskbar for a second. Okay, so I wanted to grab the team so I could let you know what I was bringing for this one, give you a bit more insight. Not a great deal. The Pokebase will still be down in the description below so you can see my sets. We've got Choice Specs Tapu Lele. It's just a wall breaker in this game. Straight up just 2-hit KOs or OKOs, everything on his team. The Thunderous, shout out to Kelly for the nickname. Honestly, my favourite Thunderous nickname. One of my favourite nicknames in general. I'm nicking it. Too bad if he doesn't like it. I'm taking it. Kelly's a friend of mine, so I'm sure he won't mind. But we're running 2 attacks, U-turn for pivoting, and Thunder Wave just to try and slow things like the Galarian Zapdos down. We can't, unfortunately, T-Wave a Dragon Dance Tyranitar, but we'll cross that bridge when we come to it, because we do actually have a couple of relatively decent checks. I'm going to move this Coke bottle, it's in the way. Speaking of relatively decent checks, we have our Beware, which is very much a Fizz Def one, though it's an Adamant Nature of a good amount of attack investment. We are running an max defense, even, not Impish, not running Impish. Facade, Drain Punch, Dark Solaria, Ice Punch, coverage, it kind of just hits everything on his team. Body Slam was tempting, but the Spectria's ability to just cripple me with Will-O-Wisp, I didn't really like that too much, because then Drain Punch isn't Oko or even close to a Tyranitar, and if it's weakness policy, then that's a bit of a problem. Granted, still going to be the same situation. I'm not clicking Facade against the Tyranitar, but maybe I could click Facade into the Drain Punch and it do a good amount of damage. Garchomp is your classic sub-Swords Dance, pretty physically defensive to try and take on Darmanitan as well. Scale Shot, Earthquake, Swords Dance, Substitute, Leftovers, fairly standard, fairly basic. Then we got Drapion with the Black Surge, Cross Poison, Night Slash, Toxic Spikes, and Whirlwind. I wanted to run Sniper this week, just in case he had any kind of setup between Mew and Spectrier. It's very easy for both of those to set up on me, and Cosmic Power Mew, potential for Will-O-Wisp on the Spectrier would mean that my knockoffs aren't doing that much damage. I wanted Night Slash to be able to potentially crit to break through those boosts, and also to prevent me from being just 1v1 by a fully Fizz Def Spectrier effectively, because it can run Mud Shot, and that's a little bit problematic because I do have a Heatran as well, but I'm not bringing it. Then we got the Decidueye with Leaf Blade, Spirit Shackle, Brave Bird, and U-turn. No Poltergeist this week. I think that was because I was pretty sure that something was going to either be running no item, or it was going to be Cassibberry, or it's going to be Coldberry, and I was going to knock it. I was going to remove the item by you clicking Night Slash earlier in the game. So I didn't want to be walled by Mew and by the Spectrier with the one Mon that really should be able to take those Mons out. So yeah, we're just running Spirit Shackle. Choice Scarf is for speed control against Spectrier if it's not choiced itself. To an extent, also with Galarian Zapdos, I got Brave Bird on there, so I can outspeed and Brave Bird a banded Galarian Zapdos. U-turn for the initiative. And also Leaf Blade is great for a potential Dragon Dance Tyranitar. If we're able to prevent the setup to +2, then we can always come in with Decidueye and cripple it. We do have the Toxic Spikes on Drapion. If he doesn't bring a Defogger, doesn't bring a Rapid Spinner, if I remember rightly, he didn't have a particularly great removal option in this game in particular. So Toxic Spikes look like it could be pretty free. Mew looks like it's going to be his best option to remove hazards. I don't think he wants to run that here. I think he wants to run 2 attacks. Maybe he runs Stealth Rock. Maybe he runs U-turn. He could be Nasty Plot with Ice Beam and Earth Power. He could be Dragon Dance with Triple Axle and Earthquake. But I think that coverage is really quite good for him. Setup Mew doesn't do particularly amazing against me, just because I do have the ability to kind of check a certain set with like one of my mons. If he doesn't run Earthquake, then my Drapion is pretty good against it. If he doesn't run Triple Axle, then obviously my Garchomp is pretty good against it. If he doesn't run Close Combat or Psychic Fangs on a DD set, of course, like take the special ones into account for a Calm Mind or an Astropod set. And I also have Whirlwind on my Drapion, just prevent any kind of Cosmic Power Body Press set from working out. Yeah, I'll just grab my Joy-Cons then. I'm not playing live. Yeah, I'm still recovering. So I'm gonna be sniffing quite a bit just because I'm still got a runny nose and all that sort of stuff. In fact, I'm just gonna pause here so I can blow my nose and then we'll get into the battle. Okay, so a little bit clearer of the nose now. Get into this game. I don't know how long I was waiting on this A screen for, but I hope it wasn't too long. I'm not gonna go forward, but the biggest threats to my team here are probably going to be the Galarian Zapdos and the Darmanitan. We do see that he breaks the Durant. Durant was not something I mentioned at all in that little bit of team build-up, because I didn't think Durant was going to come to this game. Seeing it, I think I have plenty to deal with it. I say plenty, I should be able to deal with it between like Thundurus outspeeding it, or I assume outspeeding it, and being able to kill it. Our Beware should be able to check it to an extent, though we don't want it to be weakened too much. Garchomp again should be able to do a decent job of checking it. Yeah, I'm pretty quick. I'm going just straight up, like, not even a second thought about this. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I led Garchomp. I wasn't even looking then. I wasn't looking. I was so quick I didn't even see what I was picking. I think I led with Garchomp because I wanted to get... did I lead Garchomp? Did I lead Drapion? I don't remember. I believe I should have led Drapion to try and get T-Spikes up, because you don't see a Defog on this team. But pretty much there's no Defog whatsoever. The only mon that's going to be immune to that is the Galarian Zapdos. And any potential boots, if he's boots Darmanitan, potential for boots Spectrier, I guess. I doubt it though. Yeah, good luck, have fun to Wolf. This is going to be our first game against each other. I don't think I've played Wolf. I'm pretty sure I haven't played Wolf before, so... yeah, always exciting to play someone new. And I know that Wolf is very, very good. He won a couple of leagues, like a couple of leagues that I don't know the names of particularly well. But I know he's won a couple of leagues. He was in CGT, so you know he's a tough competitor. As I do need Garchomp, I think Garchomp was to try and prevent like half of his team from leading. The only thing that realistically it didn't protect against was like Spectrier and Mew. So I'm just going to go straight out into my Drapion, which I didn't have a nickname for, so it's called Being Chillin'. I don't know why. It's just the first thing that came to my head. I will quickly just say that my Beware name is Internet Funny Bear, and the Garchomp nickname is a reference to Game Shark. I don't think I need to explain the Decidueye's nickname. If you don't know what an owl sounds like, then maybe you should get outdoors. But we're going to take that very nicely. We are a little bit spadef on this Drapion to be able to take hits from the Spectrier and from this Mew. But seeing a special and him just going straight for Ice Beam, I assume that he's not Nasty Plot right away, because firstly he led with it. Seems like it's more likely to be Spikes, maybe Stealth Rock, depending on what he deems to be more viable in his matchup. I don't know what I'm thinking about here. I'm just going to click T-Spikes. T-Spikes is incredibly good against this team, and getting that chip damage is going to be really nice for things like the Garchomp, potentially, if I can set up. He doesn't really have a lot to prevent Garchomp once it gets set up. But yeah, this thing is a problem, and there's a couple of mons on my team that do kind of invite it in, and I don't have great switches into it. So, of course, naturally, my first instinct is to go into my my Thundurus, because that's the only thing that resists both stabs on this team. And I just gotta hope that if he clicks U-turn, he doesn't have amazing switch-ins to this mon, but I can see Tyranitar coming in. But I have got Focus Blast. Should I want to hit? Sorry, I don't have the Focus Blast in this game. I have U-turn and T-Wave. U-turn is all I can really click against it. But he does go for the Thunderous Kick. It's not close combat, it's not Brave Bird, and so it's not doing over half. I want to say that close combat didn't do half anyway. Judging off that damage, I don't think close combat or Brave Bird were ever doing half. And I don't think he's going to want to stay in. but also T-Wave is just kind of really nice to throw off against a lot of this team. In hindsight, no, not a prankster. I probably should have just gone for the U-turn. U-turn would have been a fine play because Tyranitar comes in. I guess it's the same thing. If Tyranitar comes in to an extent, I can just U-turn out and go into my Beware, and Beware pretty much hard walls it, unless it's toxic. But he's going to go into Durant, and I was like, maybe he just sees this as the most expendable mon on his team. I'm doing the calcs, I'm like, okay, well, you know, Thunderbolt's doing 100% min. There is no chance that this is taking the Thunderbolt, and yeah, I'm just here calcing, like, has he brought this in for a reason? Surely, like, yeah, I'm like, Thunderbolt was killing. At the very least, it's doing a shit ton of damage. Thundy is not like the most important mon on this team by any means. So I'm pretty happy to just kind of sack it in exchange for this Durant. It's not the greatest trade, but it's a trade that I didn't think would even be a thing because, you know, 100% min to like no bulk Durant. This man brought the fucking fully Spadef AV Durant to this game, which does mean at least it didn't knock me out of the Iron Head. But I was shook here a little bit. I was not predicting this set at all, and I didn't appreciate it. So I'm just going to click U-turn because my Thunderbolt is not killing again. Maybe I should just play off the powers and try and Thunderbolt and just pick up the KO. But I'm thinking I've got Beware in the back, I've got Garchomp in the back, I got a Drapion as well. Drapion could be fine switching into this. Now it's in range of a second Thunderbolt, I believe. What do I go into here? I don't actually remember. Okay, I do go into the Beware. Do I go to Beware? I'm holding. There we go. Beware makes a lot of sense, and as he clicks Superpower here, he's not really doing a lot of damage because he has shown that he is like max Spadef AV. And he gets fully paralyzed, so we'll never know. We'll never know how much this would do. I'm pretty happy just to click the Drain Punch. If the Zapdos comes in, not the end of the world. So I'm pretty sure like Drain Punch into Ice Punch plus Brave Bird recoil damage will do a lot. If he clicks Close Combat, I think Drain Punch into Ice Punch has a chance to kill. So yeah. Beware, I'm probably just going to stay in if Galarian Zapdos comes in because I don't die to any hit. The Thunderous Kick damage earlier showed me that it was either Choice Scarf or it was certainly not Choice Banded. In fact, he didn't go for U-turn. Well, in fact, there was a Thunderous in. It made full sense that he didn't click U-turn. But he does just go into the Zapdos. He's trying to get this thing in as often as possible, which makes a lot of sense. But here he's kind of... If he clicks U-turn, then he's doing no damage. If he clicks Brave Bird or Close Combat, he takes so much damage that he's probably just going to die on the next turn. So I'm just going to click Ice Punch. I'm calculating at this point to see whether or not I like take this comfortably and can still check Tyranitar in the back. I decide that I'm probably okay because I'm Boots. If he does set up Rocks or Spikes at any point, I should still be okay to check Tyranitar. He would have to get to +3, I want to say, with Dual Stabs Earthquake or something along those lines. Even I think it might be +2 actually for Earthquake after this damage, because that does almost exactly 50%. Going to throw off the Ice Punch. This also does about 50%. What's kind of wild is that does the same damage as a Brave Bird. And I'm just going to sack off my Taunt, my Thundy. It's kind of done its job in this game. I say it's done its job. It threatened out the Zapdos once. It got a chunk on the Durant. It's paralyzed the Durant, so it's not fast. I don't know why I'm even contemplating. Am I contemplating going into Garchomp? Why would I go into Garchomp? I've got a whole ass... Oh, I even got so far as to click A on it. No, Thundy is the sack here. I am like 90% sure he's locked into Brave Bird. I must be thinking about something. I don't remember. This game was like a week and a half ago and I was ill. I didn't remember this game after I played this game. So, yeah. Okay, we are going to just sack off the Thundy. Good job, Thundy. You did something. You know what? It did more than something. It picked up the recoil that was necessary to kill the Zapdos. So arguably one of the biggest threats to my team is now down. I believe my Decidueye is the quickest thing on the field. If I can get Garchomp in and click Scale Shot at any point, it will be the quickest thing on the field. But I still haven't seen the Darmanitan set. I don't know anything about the Darmanitan. So I think I'm just debating as to what the best switch in is here. I think Mew is likely to come back in because it is kind of his lead. It was also his first choice. It was his lead, his first choice at the beginning. So he's going to take the T-Spikes. He is not Boots. I think that was kind of expected not to be Boots. I don't believe this is set up, so I'm pretty happy just to go for a Night Slash. If it is set up, then it's a bit of a problem. I maybe should have clicked Whirlwind here and just, you know, pivoted this thing around, but instead I just go for the Night Slash. Because it was a lead, I didn't think it was going to be set up. I thought Hazards was more likely. That was not a crit. If that was a crit, that was doing over half, but I believe that if I'm going to see Earth Power, it'll probably be on this turn. I'm pretty sure I'm just going to click Night Slash again, though. Night Slash into poison damage, if he doesn't have Roost, is doing enough. Of course, like if I get a crit, because I'm a sniper, it will do enough that I think it puts it in range of poison. I could be wrong on that, but it looked like it was doing 40-45%. And yeah, that means it's doing like 80 to 90 if it's a crit. Because of the sniper ability. Fun ability, especially with Swords Dance Agility. I love that set. But now he does have a Spike Up, and Spike Up is a little bit annoying for me, but not the end of the world. I can still use my my Beware to check the Tyranitar because we are Boots. The entire reason I ran Boots was for this exact scenario. And we are also like, I mean, Choice Scarf on Decidueye doesn't really matter. With Specs on Lele, it's just here to break. And I guess Garchomp, it's still able to check the Darmanitan. It's still able to potentially set up a sub if he was to switch out at any point. We're going to see the Durant. As we just Night Slash. This won't knock it out because, of course, it is like max HP. And perhaps I should have thought ahead and thought, actually, this might be something I can potentially set up my Garchomp on. But instead I go for the Night Slash. It gets fully powered on what was the first impression. I don't think there was anything else that would have outsped there. I don't think it outsped me naturally. So yeah, unfortunate, and we do get the crit. Crit definitely mattered. This game all came down to that hacks. But I mean, the hacks on the first impression kind of sucked because it would have done a significant amount of damage. Even though I am just a Drapion with decent defense stat anyway, and he was Spadef, I want to say that did die 25%, because it's still a first impression from Durant, and I assume it was Hustle. I'm pretty sure it was. But he's not in a great spot. Mon is actually very good against his team. I haven't revealed anything more. I could have Brick Break, I could have Earthquake. As he just goes Darmanitan, and honestly, at this point, Darmanitan is one of the few things that realistically can stop my Decidueye again. Spirit Shackle is looking freer and freer. I just need to get rid of the Tyranitar and I can just lock myself into Spirit Shackle. If I get rid of the Spectrier, I can lock myself into the Leaf Blade at this point because Mew is quite low. But I'm just going to go Garchomp. Garchomp was my designated switch into this. At one point I did have Marshtomp over Drapion. Intended to be able to switch into this so Garchomp could just run the Sub-Swords Dance set, come in on the Darmanitan and click Sub. But unfortunately, I just didn't see the value in Marshtomp when Drapion had Toxic Spikes and could do so much more in terms of checking things like Spectrier and Mew. We're going to see the Flare Blitz. This actually does more than any other move that it can potentially go for, despite being a resist. Doesn't take too much damage. Garchomp is generally quite physically bulky, and I ran it almost max HP with a good bit of defense as well. Lefties mean that it certainly is not going to knock me out. And on this turn, I'm contemplating clicking Sub, but realistically, he doesn't have an Earthquake switch in. Nothing on his team wants to switch into Earthquake. So I think his best play, or the play he's going to go for, is that he's just going to click Flare Blitz again, get a damage on this so Spectrier can then come in and Revenge Kill it. He could also go into Mew because it looks like it's max HP Mew, and I don't knock out a max HP Mew from the range it's at with Earthquake. So yeah, but if he was to switch in, I would with the T-Spikes damage. So he does just Flare Blitz again. That did a lot of damage. That looked like he did a lot more than the first one. But he's going to take Rocky Helmet, the Rough Skin. He's going to take the recoil from Flare Blitz. And we're just going to Earthquake. Maybe I could have Scale Shot there, but at the same time, it didn't matter. Like I say, Mew is able to take that hit just fine. The only thing it would realistically prevent is maybe Spectrier from not taking damage, because Tyranitar will take massive damage and will get OHKO'd by Earthquake. And yeah, unfortunately Mew is still out of range, so I need to just chip down the Mew a little bit more, and we'll be in a good spot. I believe he goes into Spectrier anyway. Here, I could be wrong. Pretty sure I go Spectrier and I just go Drapion, because Drapion is back at full health, I want to say, and full health Drapion is a Spectrier check Drapion. Also a Mew check, and also a Whirlwind prevents the setup from what I assume at this point has got to be Dragon Dance. Dragon Dance Tyranitar, because he's just playing it like it's Dragon Dance. The way he's not brought it in when... I mean, it could also just be like AV Tapu Lele switch. But I would be surprised if he like just didn't bring it in at all prior to this. Actually, I guess I didn't really give him much of a chance. But I want to say I just go hard Lele. There's no reason for me to sack the Garchomp at the moment, because I can use it as a sack for Spectrier, I can use it as a sack for Tyranitar should I need to. Just to give myself a free Beware switch or a free Drapion switch. So I'm just going to go hard into my Tapu Lele. It's able to take any 2 hits. Like I say, I expect this to be 2 attacks, Roost and Spikes, because it's shown Spikes, so I expect Earth Power to be the last move. Yeah, we do take the Spike, we're going to take whatever hit. Unless this is Shadow Ball, there's no way this knocks us out. And or at least 2 KOs us. And he does just show Ice Beam. I think Ice Beam into Shadow Ball may have done enough. Judging off that damage, it would have been close. But he does take T-Spikes. And unfortunately we are slower because we are modest. Yeah, we're modest and not heavily speed invested at all. So we are going to get outsped by this Mew, but we are also just going to knock something out. Like, he does not have a Moonblast switch in. Tapu Lele is going to either claim a kill or is going to do a ton of damage to the Spectrier before going down. And honestly, it doesn't even need to go down at this point. Like, if Spectrier comes in, I've still got a whole Drapion in the back that can potentially wall it. I say potentially because if it's Nasty Plot and gets the Mudshot off on it, it's going to be doing a lot of damage. But I still have the Decidueye as well that can Spirit Shackle. But realistically, my game plan at this point is to either try and chip the Tyranitar down so it's in Spirit Shackle range, or I chip the Spectrier down to Leaf Blade range. I can also potentially just 1v1 both with Beware, but that seems unlikely. Seems very unlikely unless he gives me a free Drain Punch with Beware on the Tyranitar. I'm never going to be at enough health. So it seems likely that it's going to be Decidueye endgame at this point, not the Beware endgame. Beware is a failsafe against Dragon Dance Tyranitar if it gets out of control. Again, Drain Punch to +2. +2 Tyranitar shouldn't knock out the Beware, and Drain Punch should do a ton of damage in return. He's just going to go out into the Spectrier. Makes a lot of sense. Maybe he was thinking maybe he could set up a Dragon Dance on this, but that seems risky, especially with an offensive one. I am going to keep this around. I still have Drapion in the back. I don't see a reason to just give up my Tapu Lele like that. Effectively what I'm doing is giving myself the best possibility of preventing the Tyranitar from setting up. I have Moonblast on Tapu Lele. I have Earthquake on Garchomp. Both still outspeed the Tyranitar, and as long as they're in against the Tyranitar before it can set up, then they can do a ton of damage and put it in range of Leaf Blade. So yeah. How comes the Drapion? Drapion has pretty much one role at this point, and it is to check this Spectrier. Also, if he decides to double out into the Tyranitar, is to click Whirlwind and try and prevent the setup, because it is kind of setup fodder for the Tyranitar. Not that at this point he actually knows that. He only knows 2 moves, Toxic Spikes and Night Slash. Don't know why I'm contemplating the switch. I think maybe because there's potential for Tyranitar to come in. And the good thing is that the Spectrier poisoned, it's never going to be able to beat my entire team unless it's got rest. Which I think is unlikely. If it was sub-Willow, Nasty Plot, something like that, then he wouldn't have Hex, firstly. I think he would have had Hex over Shadow Ball. So I'm just kind of expecting this to be like Shadow Ball, Mud Shot. It does reveal the Willow. Willow makes a lot of sense still. And I don't know, the last move could be Nasty Plot, it could be Calm Mind, it could be Agility. Depends on what kind of set he's running. We do see the Colbur, which is interesting. I didn't particularly expect the Colbur, but it does make sense. Would have taken that Night Slash like just fine, like, especially if his plan was to burn it. That's why I'm a little unsure on the Colbur. But maybe throwing like a Scarf Drapion. Who knows? Don't think there's too much else that I could have hit, to be honest. Maybe Beware Dark Lariat. I'm just trying to think of what the Colbur would have been super beneficial for, but go watch Wolfside. I'm sure he has a perfectly good answer for that. And here I'm just going to click Night Slash again, I believe. And I am happy trading my Drapion here for Tyranitar. Just clicking Whirlwind. It actually reveals a Lump, which means that I absolutely need to click Whirlwind here, because the poison damage would guarantee a win if it tries to set up. As you're going to see, his Night Slash does literally nothing. There's no point in even clicking the button on that turn. I might as well just timed out and let it click Toxic Spikes, I don't know. But yeah, the reason I didn't go for 2 Toxic Spikes, actually I should probably mention that, is the fact that I felt like regular poison was more beneficial in a game where I'm more likely to be doing bigger damage like in one go. So I didn't want Toxic, as I'm not trying to slow burn stall. Yeah, so he does go for Dragon Dance with Whirlwind. I had to make that play. It was my only way of kind of preventing that Tyranitar from going a little bit crazy. And now I'm very aware that I just absolutely, categorically cannot have Drapion in when the Spectrator dies. If that's the case, it gets the Dragon Dance, and it could be a real problem for my team. The upside is that I still have my Scarf Decidueye. I do have the Poison because he's used his Lum. So I should still be able to see out this endgame regardless. But I'm just thinking here, what's my best... like, effectively what I need to do here is just sack something off. Don't give him Tyranitar for free. If he was to go Tyranitar on his turn, then going Garchomp or Lele means that he cannot set up. Or if he does set up, that he's going to be taking a gigantic amount of damage. So yeah, I'm just going to go hard into one of these two. Sorry, no, I can't let Tyranitar come in before my Decidueye dies. I think it's something along those lines. Decidueye before my Drapion dies. I can't remember. I did have a good train of thought here. But effectively, I don't want to have something in and Tyranitar coming for free. Because I can't Whirlwind Tyranitar if it's the last one alive, and I don't want to be stuck in that position. Despite the fact that... well, okay. I will explain this as best I can. I'm sure it's very boring at this point because I've tried to explain it about 6 times. Brain is not functioning. Yeah, I would have to make a risky switch into Decidueye to prevent a second setup if Drapion was it. There we go. That was the best explanation. It just took me a while to get there. That's what she said. Now this thing is definitely in Leaf Blade range. Without a doubt in Leaf Blade range. I can just go to Decidueye. I can click Leaf Blade twice. The poison damage plus Leaf Blade. I am going to lose another differential point because I don't think there's any world in which the Tyranitar doesn't click Crunch effectively. Maybe he has to play off my Choke and I switch out for some reason. But yeah, I'm just going to Leaf Blade this. Always kills. Leaf Blade to Tyranitar to put it in such a low amount of health that it really can't do a whole lot. And if it tries to Dragon Dance to like claim diff points somehow, some way, it's gonna end up just dying. And if it doesn't set up, it literally dies to my entire team. Effectively, whatever's left, like Garchomp, it would die to that. It would die to the Beware. So this game should be in the bag. He has taken a little bit of chip from the Night Slash as well. So it should only take 2 lots of poison, I think, to knock this out. Which means that we should only realistically lose 1-1. I just click Leaf Blade. I have no other play. I think he's debating whether or not to click Dragon Dance, but if he clicks Dragon Dance here, he still loses because I'm Scarfed. He knows I'm Scarfed, so Dragon Dance is never a play. He just has to click Crunch, unless he wants to try and play off my choke, which would be to Dragon Dance on my switch out, and then Dragon Dance again to try and outspeed this. But yeah, I think at this point he probably wants to just play for diff and we'll just Crunch. But he does have a good thought about this. Quite a lengthy bit of thinking going on. Because I'm just clicking buttons at this point. I actually played with like a lot of timer left. I had like 6 minutes left or so, I think, towards the end there. Which is surprising for me. Usually I take the full timer. Usually this is me who's doing all the thinking. But alas, not this time. Yeah, I said you I was going to do Leaf Blade. It doesn't quite do enough. But it's certainly going to be putting it in range. And he does his Crunch so Garchomp can come in and just finish this game off with an Earthquake. Very tempted to go for the Scale Shot just to, you know, let the face decide on how much diff I should get. But at the end of the day, that's not really worth it. It's a bit of BM as well, and I'm not about that. Maybe I should be about that. Maybe. But yeah, we're going to go into Garchomp. This is why we saved it earlier in the game, was just so we had something to guarantee outspeed and do a ton of damage, if not Oko, the Tyranitar. And yeah, we're going to win this game 3-0. For the first game against Wolf, it was a lot of fun. Toxic Spikes were huge. Toxic Spikes actually saved my ass in this game, because if you imagine the Spectrier and this Tyranitar out the residual, he may have been able to pull that one back, but in the end, the T-Spikes were huge, and it was a last-minute change that worked out, and that doesn't always happen for me. But yeah, good game to Wolf. Make sure to go check him out. His link will be down in the description below. Make sure to check out all the other coaches for PAC this season, or PAC. I don't know which one it prefers. I mean, that's I guess a personal preference. And like, subscribe, so you don't miss out on future content and support is greatly appreciated. And until the next one, have a great day, guys.